And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back to something a little bit different. We just wrapped up with the KSL with the Korean StarCraft League, and now we've returned with a very cheeky viewer replay cast. Oh boy. So shout out to ZergTanis in the chat for redeeming said replay. For those who don't know, we actually have a way to redeem via a point system. We do have channel points in the chat, and you can redeem said channel points, and one of those redemption options is to have us cast one of your replays, as we do have a ladder game here from ZergTanis. So I don't really know what I'm going to step into, but I'm sure it's going to be a blast. Let's go. It's going to be ZvT on Abyssal Reef. So already I'm a little bit concerned. Abyssal Reef is known for longer macro games. It can be very difficult to break a player on a 4 and 5 base setup. We didn't get any macro, I guess, in the finals of KSL, so we might see that here. We'll see what happens. Spawning in the top left hand corner of Abyssal Reef, we have our viewer from the chat. We have our Australian Zerg player, the red Zerg. Ooh. Going gas first. It is ZergTanis. I say extraction trick. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have the blue Terran player. The blue Terran, it is Philosopher. Here we go. So we are going to be settling in, and again, welcome one and all to Abyssal Reef. Abyssal Reef is a ladder map. I specify ladder map just because most, if not all, online tournaments have removed Abyssal Reef from the map pool. Specifically, Abyssal Reef, Neon Violet Square, and King's Cove are all just removed. These are very old maps, and they are all very large, very macro, very defensive as well, and they favor turtle play. So because of that, we have gotten rid of them. Like, for the most part, in our tournaments, in Sparkling Tuna Cup, in Sea Duckling Open, in KSL, in Wardy TV Monday, in Pegasus Monday, and Monday Night Week, like all the like open weekly cups, Abyssal Reef doesn't exist. We've gotten rid of it. There are a couple of events here and there that do still feature it, so it's a little bit of a treat every now and then that we do get to embrace Abyssal Reef, but it's more of a rarity nowadays than anything. But again, it's still a ladder map, I should say. Less so a tournament map. And again, the reasoning for this is because some of the features of this map include the narrow ramp coming into the natural, so very narrow coming into the natural. We have the third base as well here on the right hand side, and we have the fourth and the fifth. And again, because this ramp is so narrow, you can wall this off easily. You could easily wall this area off. Likewise, then you can focus your defenses here at the third base. You can expand right next to your third here into the fourth, and your fifth base is right next to your fourth base. It's all very centralized. Like, all these bases are very centralized, so it's easy to rotate in between them and easy to establish yourself on 5 bases. It's a very similar story on like King's Cove and on Neon Violet Square as well. For now though, we have our openers. Again, we did have a bit of a more quirky start to the game, but overall we're just getting into towards the mid game. A relatively standard starts. We're going to be droning. Overlord Scout is attempted across the map, but was this Marine first? Oh yeah, Marine first here by Philosopher. He skips the Reaper, and by skipping the Reaper, the first Overlord is going to be hunted down. Big catch here from the Terran, a very nice snipe. Now with this first Overlord going down, it doesn't just supply block ZergTanis, but it also means the follow-up Scout is going to be delayed. It's going to be more difficult to figure out whether or not Philosopher is going for a 2-1-1, 1-1-1, third TC, the follow-up build here. It's going to be more difficult to determine. Back at home, ZergTanis just droning up, getting safety links. The third base is late. I think I've said this before when casting ZergTanis. This is similar to the ZergTanis series against Captain Fish, but the third base is very delayed here. So as we're getting in towards the mid game, we don't have the best larva production available. Ooh, and looks like we might have a reason for that. It is going to be a roach based opener. Roach weren't going to be thrown. Oh no, yeah, we see. Yeah, we saw this in the Captain Fish series as well. This I'm a little bit less fond of, I'll be honest. If you listen to the Captain Fish series, I'm probably going to be reiterating myself here. But early Roach Warren and early Double Evo Chamber, this is a little bit less efficient because I believe the gas won't quite be there to embrace all the upgrades and to get into the tech. This is usually seen to like maybe go for like a 1-1 all-in timing or something, but this will be delaying the economy. Like, instead of a third base, we're spending that money on Double Evo Chamber and upgrades, so the economy is going to be suffering as a result. So a weaker economy here from our Zerg player. Philosopher across the map, ooh, going for what looks to be a Hellbat push. Armory is on the way. I say Hellbat push. This is also a bit of a quirky build because we're opening up Reactored Widowmine. Huh. Now, if you recall, the armory does allow for, I guess, Wouldn't Mind upgrades for drilling claws, I suppose. But even then, this is what is this? I'm still trying to figure out what the armory's for. Are we going for add-ons into Thors? Yo, are we going for Thor drops? Yo, show us the Thors. Show us the Thors, papi. Up. Does this build make sense? Do we open Thor? Not drilling claws. God damn it. Okay. I got excited for a moment. It's gonna be drilling claws. Okay, so you do need the armory for drilling claws. So this is a very weird setup here from our Terran player. Link Scout does get in. Link Scout does confirm. Does get eyes on the armory. So seeing the armory and seeing the lack of Hellion production and seeing the researching tech lab, ZergTanis has seen everything they need to determine that this should be drilling claws. It's a very quirky build, but again, the researching tech lab is a tell. And we should be seeing spores. I mean, ideally, the reaction to this would be spores across the map to help deal with this. This is a more common build against Protoss, less so against Zerg, especially because spore follow-ups are very common. Like, whether it's if it's a 1-1-1, I mean, you're expecting like Banshee play anyway here. So spores shouldn't be, yeah, as you can see here, spores are already going to be on the way. So there's less of a chance that this actually gets much damage done. But we'll see. We'll see. This is pretty committed though. So we have the double mine drop here moving out from Philosopher. Medevac on the left, Medevac on the right. Third base now getting up and running. Upgrades are on the way. It's going to be double attack upgrades here from ZergTanis. We do have the drops moving out here towards those mineral lines. So far, ZergTanis is mostly set up. We only have a spore here at the natural though. There's no spore in the main. There's no spore at the third base. Mine drop comes in, drilling claws is done, and do we react in time? No reaction. Drone's going to be going down. So far, just getting one. Oh, better connection towards the end. Getting up to 9 drone kills. Meanwhile, drilling claw, Widow Mines into the main base this time. There is a reaction though. Oh no! The mine shots are going off. Ooh, they do connect. Not so much in the mineral line, but on the links. Nice biles. Very nice biles. Takes down one of them. The layer is done, so we can morph in an Overseer. And the spores are repositioning. Looks like the first mine is going to recharge. Getting another shot off. Oh, not quite. Spore was within range. Meanwhile, no spore in the main. And no spore in the main base. So it looks like there will be another connection. Just getting one drone. Could have been worse. And now the dust settles. Now, as the dust settles, we do have our Terran player going for a double expansion, going for 2 more CCs, going for a 3rd and 4th command center. So quite greedy as a response, but these are very late. I should emphasize that as well, is that I believe this was a 3-rack setup before CC, so this is also a very late command center, a very late economy for Philosopher. Now, he does make up for it because of the economic damage. It's been 14 drone kills, and another couple of drones go down, 18 drones full. So on the one hand, this third base is late, but he makes up for it with that economic damage. So I would say that the Terran player is ahead economically, currently, against our ZergTanis. ZergTanis has to re-drone, has to resaturate, eventually getting to 2-2 upgrades, eventually getting into Roach Ravager. I'm curious as to how they tech up. It looks like, we have a little bit of everything. We have Aspire, Hydrogen, and Infestation Pit. With the range upgrades, it would be a little bit more natural to get into Hydrotech, into Lurker Tech. But the Spire does open things up for, I guess, Mutaplay. We'll see what ZergTanis does favor here. Has options. Does have options. At this point, we should be seeing a 4th expansion. A 4th, maybe even double expanding at this point. The 4th base is a little bit later here for our Zerg player. And we have a switch into mech? Wait, what? We have 2 more factories on the way. Interesting. But we're still getting Concussive Shell. Wait, did we get Stim? Yeah, we have Stim, Combat Shields, Concussive Shell. We have 2-2 upgrades. Neo Steel frames on the way. Now, my biggest concern with what we're seeing here is that that Philosopher is going to just turtle and have a mixture of bio and mech in a way, but I'm concerned that we're going to get into like a really heavy tank composition. Yep, double tech lab. So triple tech lab here, triple factory. This looks like mass tank to just like fully like wall up here on like 3 and 4 bases. That's my concern seeing this setup. but we'll see. Meanwhile, mutas are on the horizon, so we have 6 mutas. 6 mutas, that is enough to one-shot. I believe it's 4 mutas to one-shot, but usually you get like at least 5. So getting up to 6 mutas to one-shot SCVs. To harass. And it looks like ZergTanis isn't committing too hard into this. We have Hydra upgrades on the way, so mutas just harass and then switching into Hydra tech. Meanwhile, Philosopher is getting another command center, getting a 5th CC, has yet to land his 3rd. So Philosopher, despite having a very high SCV count, look how oversaturated we are. 28 SCVs at the natural. So I said before that, as the mutas, one of them does go down. Does somewhat get into the mineral lane. Now, I mentioned before that a Philosopher had the better economy. That is true if he was mining efficiently, but again, he's just heavily oversaturated. SCVs are going down. No reaction. Yeah, no reaction here by the Bio Army. SCVs are falling. The turrets will clean this up. But that is still how many? 5 SCV kills. Ooh, 5 SCVs for 6 mutas. That was not worth it here for our Zerg player. And Philosopher moves out. Does move out. Should be expanding behind this. I'm really concerned by the lack of base. So again, even though we have a lot of SCVs, they're not really mining. The workers aren't really mining. So because of that, ZergTanis has actually a better economic game state. Because of the lack of expansion, the lack of base being taken. Army moves out. ZergTanis can take this slow. Head pokes in. Massing up from Roach Ravager into a Hydra tech. Building up into a hive. It's building up in the hive. Tanks are pushing forward. I mean, this is a decently scary setup here, but there's no reason for ZergTanis to engage, right? There's no reason to push off a creep. We can just take it slow. Take it slow, take it steady. Biles, they connect with the medevacs. Ooh, another medevac goes down. And ideally, ZergTanis wants to fight out of range of these tanks, right? Just wants to force the Bio Army onto creep. Oh, can even bile from the high ground. True. Oh, doesn't quite get it. Lurker Den is on the way, Morlings are amassing. Attempting to get into Lingbane Roach Ravager. Tank overextends, first tank should be going down. There's Wiles, getting another tank. And without the Bio Army, the tanks are exposed. And ZergTanis breaks out, gets another. Overextends for a moment. Still no expansion. Like, again, we have so many orbitals. We have so many CCs. Papi, expand. What's happening? Where's the 3rd base? Where's the 3rd? Where's the 4th? Like, we have the expansions. And again, this is allowing ZergTanis to kind of maintain this army, maintain a greater position. 76 workers. Getting to his Lingbane. Baneling speed only just now starting. Very late baneling speed here for ZergTanis. Just not trying to set up. Getting another expansion. Closer moving in. And these lurkers can at least delay the push. Diving on this army with lurkers is not the easiest thing to do, but ZergTanis may just be able to overwhelm with just sheer numbers. Like, with sheer numbers, yeah, it does move in. Lurkers burrow. Banelings, they somewhat connect. They connect well enough. The army crumbles, and from here, ZergTanis overwhelms and can just go for the kill. From here, we can just go for the kill. That's a planetary. That's a planetary at the natural. But ZergTanis has double the supply. 3rd base now finally being taken, and this is the moment for ZergTanis. Oh, going to Muta? Oh, that I'm not so sure about. Does reinforce his mutas, but that's more of a reason to at least harass. And ZergTanis almost maxed out. Now's the time. Now we can push. Philosopher, meanwhile, is attempting to stabilize, getting his 3rd base up and running, potentially getting a 4th as well. Pulling back home. ZergTanis about to max. But again, when it comes to mutas, mutas, they are not a very good army units. They're good at harassing, don't get me wrong. They're very nice at harassing and picking up some high-tech units, but in a main army, they are less efficient than getting into like Hydraulic or Viper or even Corruptor Tech, for example. With the amount of turrets that there are, it's going to be difficult for the mutas to really get much damage done. There are just so many turrets here. So this was a really big mineral and gas sink into these mutas, and for now, they're not really paying for themselves. So a bit of an inefficient investment, and also despite ZergTanis being maxed out and having a massive supply lead, due to being a little bit too passive here, it does allow Philosopher to actually turtle up and stabilize. Isn't there yet, but is now getting another CC on location, is now securing this third base. This third base was exposed for so long, but ZergTanis did fail to capitalize on that advantage. Still maxed out. Getting to 3-3. Now, thankfully for ZergTanis, Philosopher is being active, and he shouldn't be. The correct thing for the Terran player to do in this position is just turtle, right? Just turtle up, but they're getting caught out, throwing away tanks. Tanks gonna be thrown away. Catches out some of the Roach Ravagers. ZergTanis only fighting with the Roach Ravager. Can now try to remax with a more efficient army. But that was maybe best case scenario for the Terran, is only fighting a portion at a time. So Philosopher does rotate. I would say that these mutas are dead supply at the moment. I feel like they're hurting ZergTanis more than helping. Philosopher moving in. Let's go, +3 attack. Let's go. Mutas, they can at least shut down the Metamax. Speaking of, oh god. The Banelings do crash in. No splits. Yeah, no splits. Banelings, they connect. They shut down the Marines. Metamax should be chased out by the mutas. With that, ZergTanis will hold. Oh, going into 20 mutas behind this. Okay. Now, if we're committing this hard into mutas, we need to be active with them. Like, we need to counterattack. And I'm hoping that occurs once the 20 mutas arrive. Once again, it's going to be difficult to break some of these locations, but specifically this fourth base is very exposed. There's no turrets. Are no turrets. Three on the way. Again, this army here is very vulnerable to mutas, as there's barely any anti-air. There's a handful of Marines. There's Marauder tank. Now we have turrets on the way. This is where there's like a bit of a timer on these mutas getting damage done. Oh, but the turrets aren't ready. Now is the time. How they're about to finish. They're about to finish up. ZergTanis does commit. Turrets will finish, but I believe there should be enough mutas. Yeah, the mutas, the Hydra army does overwhelm, takes down all the tanks. Whew. And thankfully, we'll break this location before Philosopher really turtles up. Thankfully. Yeah, the base will fall. From here, the muta count is high enough to break through this siege line as well. There's only 2 turrets. The tank count is terrifying, but that means nothing to the mutas. So mutas, they can break this. They can break this down. There's only 2 turrets. Come in, Pappy, come in. Ooh, does target down the tanks instead. Does not target the turrets. Aye, aye, aye. So Philosopher is barely holding on here, but again, ZergTanis still has everything. Has like all these bases, has greater economy, taking another expansion. I do think these mutas definitely could have. I mean, they still can break this position, but now there's more turrets. Now there's what, like, Jesus, like 5, 6 turrets here. Jesus, look at the SCV count. I mean, we are taking another expansion. Let's go. We still have orbitals to float. We can float over, baby. We can float. The neglected CCs. God damn it. as Philosopher is long distance mining. And from here, ZergTanis going in, taking into Ultras. Ultra Tech on the way. But at this point, I mean, honestly, ZergTanis can break this position with this army. Once again, ZergTanis can just move in, can break the third. The natural is going to be a little bit awkward because of the planetary, but this third base is exposed. As you can see, there's no army here. Philosopher is committed across the map. Essentially all in. Like this is all in here from Philosopher. Does move in with the tanks. Again, the anti-air is very limited, so mutas and I mean everything will be cleaned up. And this should trigger a counterattack. Should follow the rally here into the expansion. Once again, back at home, only turrets to defend as CC gets denied. Tennis. Can we keep going? No, we can keep going. Does turn back around. There's literally there's what? There's 6 Marines, 7 Marines here. There's a couple of turrets. Does pull away, looking to wait for Ultras. I mean, Ultras are a more secure way to win this out. So technically, ZergTanis is doing the correct thing in the sense that there's nothing pressuring ZergTanis to actually fight. On the one hand, could end the game, but on the other hand, as long as the 4th base is denied over and over again, this is still just a bit of position here for the Zerg player. As long as the Terran can never expand, the Terran can never stabilize. Speaking of mutas, they do rally to the natural, or they run into the turrets. Oh god, oh god, god. So the mutas are going to be thrown away. This 4th base gets missed. It's going to be fully saturated. This base was exposed, and this base would have been the target, but that's a massive mule hammer. Oh my, that's a lot of mules. Mules get thrown down, and the base is getting up and running. And now with this 4th base, technically Philosopher can stabilize, but he needs a lot of time. He needs a lot of time to actually build up and fortify themselves. Unlike these center 2 bases here, the 4th base that Philosopher opted to go for is very exposed. It's very exposed. It's very out in the open here. It's going to be very difficult to defend, more so than any of these other options. So best of luck to Philosopher, defending against a ground army, specifically against the Ultras. So this is going to be a... I mean, there's a lot of tanks, that is true, but the tanks are on their own. Like, there's no support. There's no support for the tanks. Not yet. We got our Marines moving in. It's one of those things that now Philosopher is turtling, but this was necessary earlier when he was taking like the closer expansions, right? When he was taking this base, like this is where he needed to just turtle up as hard as he could. And now he's turtling, but like he has to invest so heavily into all this Sim City, more so than he would have needed to otherwise. Like he's doing the best he can given the situation, as in like to hold on to this base, we do need all these like depots and turrets, but it's just such a big investment. And I mean, technically it will make it difficult for Ultras to engage, I suppose. But at the same time, ZergTanis can just go for another expansion, right? Like, it would be easier to just break a different CC at this point. Speaking of, ZergTanis has been maxed out for a while. This is where we have to be a little bit critical of ZergTanis. Once you're maxed out, there's no reason not to be trading. ZergTanis has a massive bank, but that bank means nothing if you're not doing anything with your army. There is a world, there's a chance where if you take a bad fight, if it takes too long to remax, then the Terran player can overwhelm, even if the Zerg player has a bank, as you're going to be limited by your larva. So this is where you do want to be trading, and want to be throwing away and trading Ultras, trading Ling Bane, then rebuilding and remaxing and just maintaining yourself. Philosopher is being allowed to stabilize. He was down 100 supply, now he's down 40 supply, so Philosopher has been slowly recovering and slowly catching up. Still doesn't have the best economy here, but again is that much closer here to maxing out. As we're gonna soon move in. Soon moving in. Thankfully for ZergTanis, Philosopher is missing macro cycles. There we go. 12 Marines on the way. Now Philosopher down 20 supply. Now thankfully for ZergTanis as well, Philosopher is going pure Marine tank. What I mean by that, where's the Academy? Where are the Ghosts? Whether it's against Ultras, Broodlords, Vipers, Infestors, what's the meme? What's the copy pasta? Ghosts are necessary in the late game, and right now there are 0 Ghosts. So even though that now we're maxed, again, Philosopher, he was down 100 supply, and now he's maxed out, but the supply does lie. One army is not quite like the other. ZergTanis does move out, and is going to just barrel through all these tanks. Yeah, the Ultras, they're well upgraded, they're on 3-3. They break through the first line, they barely break through the second. Not the cleanest fight here from ZergTanis, but oh god, and it's going to be forced back. But remember, ZergTanis, we can remax. There we go, 13 Ultras on the way. This is why we did have to trade. This is the kind of the strength that ZergTanis has now that they have map control and have the bank, is to trade, remax, and just do that over and over and over again. And this is an army that Philosopher cannot rebuild. And again, without any Ghosts, without any Liberators, with purely Marine tank, like, it's just not an army that scales well into the late game. Oh, let's go! we pull the boys! The boys are being pulled. It's all or nothing here for Philosopher. We commit, Pappy, we commit. Ultras have arrived. ZergTanis, he dives in, catches out the fire, catches out the tanks. And the Ultras will clean this up. Yeah, from here, there's nothing left over. GG gets called. Well played. And ZergTanis will take the game. We'll take the game to kind of stumble our way into the late game, but something that ZergTanis was doing that Philosopher wasn't, was scaling up, right? ZergTanis was scaling up, getting into Hive Tech, getting into Mass Ultra, done with like the Muta play or any Roach Ravage or anything like that. That's something that Philosopher failed to do when it comes to teching up. Likewise, when it comes to expanding and saturating, like it was a shaky game state, but regardless, GG. GG, well played. ZergTanis takes it. Ooh, GG. Oh my god. I feel like ZergTanis is just chilling and eating while it's happening. True. Could have ordered some Uber Eats. Gotten some food in. Making me jealous. Also hungry. Oh no. Oh, Esther ARJ Skater. No. As we do have another replay redeemed. Let's go.